Hey, what is up, guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a really cool 3-card trick. This is actually one of my favorites. One of my favorite 3-card tricks to perform. It's sort of like an adaptation of the 3-card Monte, so I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Now, guys, thank you so much. We just recently hit 160,000 subscribers. We are on that road to 200K. So, guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel and sticking here with us the entire time. Let us know down in the comment section, how long have you guys been subscribed? We're actually kind of interested. We'll try to respond to as many comments as possible. Also, don't forget to enter into the giveaway. Just like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and make sure you guys do that. Once again, like the video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and comment something down in the comment section below, and you guys will have a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card or 12 Monarch decks of cards. The giveaway will be ending very soon, in a couple weeks, just when the month ends. Anyway, let's get straight into the trick. So, Robert, I'm going to need your help for this one. And today we're going to be playing a little game where we're going to try to follow the king, okay? So, once again, today the goal is to follow the king. So, once again, we have 2 5s and 1 king. So, this is what we're going to do, Robert. I'm going to try to have you follow the king really quick. So, hold out your hand for me. What I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to give you the king. Now, Robert, if you had to put money on it, where would you say the king is?
Oh, I have the king.
You have the king. Well, guess what? You're already following the wrong card because the king is right here, and you actually have, go ahead, show it. You actually have the 5. So, already off to a pretty bad start. Not really liking that one, but let's try this one more time, Robert. Hold out your hand. Once again, we have the 5, the king. I'm going to give you the 5 this time, so I have the king right here. Robert, where would you say the king is if you had to put money on it?
You have the king.
Well, check this out. All I have to do is give the cards a little turn, a little snap, and actually I can get that king to disappear and float to your hand. So now you actually have the king. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to do another little bit of magic here. I'm going to take this king, okay? Follow along here. I'm going to take the king, and the king is going to go directly into my pocket. So I'm going to put the king inside my pocket. So what I have here is 2 5s. Now, Robert, if you had to say, once again, we're going to put money on this, where is the king?
In your pocket.
The king is in my pocket. Well, check this out. All I got to do is snap my fingers. And check this out. The king has actually been here the entire time with the 5. And in fact, in my pocket, I've actually had the other 5. Not really having the best start here, Robert, but this is what we're going to do. Hold out your hand one more time. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. This entire time, I've actually been using 3 5s. And I've kept that extra king in my pocket just when I need it. That is the trick, guys. I hope you enjoy this one. Let's get straight into the tutorial. Exactly how this trick is done. It's a pretty cool one. It's a pretty fast-paced trick. Something basically where they have to follow the king. But again, there is a little bit of trickery involved with this one. Anyway, let's get into how to do it. So what are you going to need for this trick? This trick is going to involve a lot of duplicates as well as some double-sided tape. So you're going to need here 3 5s. So you're going to need 3 of one card, okay? Now, keep in mind, you technically only need 2 of one color because this one's going to be double-sided taped. Or if you have a duplicate or a double-faced card, you can use that as well. That would work perfectly for this trick. And then obviously, you're going to need another king. So once again, you're going to need 2 kings or queens, whatever you want to use, and then you're going to need 3 of another card, and you can use any color there. But obviously, we like to use contrasting colors, so I like to use black and then red, just so the colors stand out a little bit better that way. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to have 2 just normal 5s. These are going to sit out. One of the 5s, you're going to use some double-sided tape. You're going to stick it to the back of a duplicate king, and then your other king is just a normal king, okay? So that is your entire setup for the trick. Once again, you have a double face card, a normal king, and then 2 normal 5s. That is your entire setup for this trick, and then you are ready to go. So at this point, what you're going to do to set up and before you're going to start the trick is you're going to start by taking your double face card, and your double face card this entire time, it's sort of going, at least for the beginning of the trick, it's going to act like a 5, not a king. So we're going to use it as a 5. Take 1 of your 5s. Okay, this is just the normal 5. And this is going to go into your pocket. You can use your shirt pocket. You can use your pants pocket, anything like that. But that 1 5 is going to go into your pocket. The normal king is going to be your king for the trick. So your setup is going to be this. Take the double-sided card. We're going to use the 5. And you're going to follow that by the other 5, and then follow that by your king. So this is how you're going to start the trick, or at least this is how I like to start my routine of the trick, okay? There's so many different ways you can go by, adapting this sort of trick to fit your routine. because it is going to just use the same principle every single time to make the trick work, right? And the general idea of this entire trick is that if you have the double-sided card on the bottom and you do the one little move, you can actually switch it. So you can say here, if I give you the 5, but that's actually a king, right? So that is sort of like the one move that you're going to be doing multiple times throughout this trick. So what you're going to do from here is you're going to say, okay, we got 5, 5, and a king. All right, that is the basic start. What you're going to do is you're going to have to make a big motion because you're going to understand that once you start doing the trick, a lot of the cards are going to be in positions that you don't really want it to be in. So you have to sort of make the trick go a little bit quicker so they don't really keep up and, you know, examine the cards too carefully. What you're going to do is start with the double face card on the bottom, and you can start mixing the cards up to make sure they go back to the original position. And then what I like to do is make a big motion and come back down. You're going to say, we're going to follow the king. Now, obviously, again, it doesn't make sense to go from 3 face-up cards to 1 face-up card. So what you want to do is I like to make a big motion. I'd like to come up and down. You're going to say, so what we're going to do today is we're going to follow the king. Now, obviously, you could just start with the trick like this. You don't actually have to start with 2 5s and a king, but you should just so they know what cards we're dealing with today. But at that point, you're going to flip over. Now, what you have to do here, go ahead and just mix the cards up. Now, remember, these are both, this is a king and a 5, okay? So what you need to do is you're going to make sure once you're in this position, you flip the cards over, you have to bring this middle card on top of the king, okay? And then you're going to flip it over. You don't want to flip this card over because you're only supposed to have 2 5s and 1 king, so make sure that this card stays face down. So you can go ahead and mix up the cards if you do want to. Basically, at that point, you'd be here. You just got to keep an eye on this one card. You can do whatever you want. Make sure this 5 gets on top of the king. From there, what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, we're going to flip this card over, and your job, once again, is to follow this king. Ask them to put their hand out. You're going to say, okay, what I'm going to do here, as you flip over, what you're doing is you're pushing this card out. So you're giving them the opposite card. So basically, I'm here. I'm going to do this motion, pushing the card over, okay, as I flip my hand over. So you're going to say here, we have a king, we have a 5. I'm going to give you the king, okay? And you just have to basically say whichever card that you see, you're going to say the other card. So in this case, we're going to say, okay, I see a 5, so I'm going to say, so you have the king, I have the 5. Where do you think the king is? You can go ahead and mix these cards up if you want to. It doesn't really matter how you reveal this, but don't do that, obviously. But what you want to do is basically, we'll check it out this entire time. You can snap your fingers and say, I've had the king here the entire time, and you've actually had the 5. So that is the first part of the trick. Let me go over that one more time so you guys understand. So once again, you're going to start in this position here. Okay, you're going to be in this position. Make sure you get this middle 5 on top of the king. Okay, so you're going to get it on top, and then you're going to flip it over. You're going to say, check it out. If I give you the king, where do you think the king is? They're going to say it's right here. You're going to say, nope, the king has been right here. You're already following the wrong card because you've had the 5 the entire time. Now remember, the double face card should always be on the bottom when you're doing the switch. So you're immediately going to go into your next switch. At this point, you have the 2 cards right here, double face card followed by a normal king. You're going to do the same exact move, this little pushover. You're going to say here, I'm going to give you the 5 this time. I have the king, okay? And what I like to do here is I like to get the double face card on top of this 5. Okay, so you can go ahead, you can mix it up, and you can say, check it out. What we got here, we got the king, we got the 5. If you had to put money on it, where do you think the king is? They're going to say, oh, the king's right here. We're going to say, check it out. All I got to do is snap my fingers, and now I got both the 5s here, and you actually had the king. Now, at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to take this king, okay? You're going to now mix the order of these 2 cards. So you're going to want to bring this double face card to the top. Bring this king. You're going to say, I'm going to put the king into my pocket, okay? Remember, you have the other card in your pocket. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't switch those up, right? So I put the king in my pocket. You're going to say, well, now we're going to ask you one more question. Where do you think the king is? All you have to do here is say, okay, so we got the 2 5s. They're going to say, oh, the king's in your pocket. You just put it in your pocket. At this point, you can do the reveal however you want. If you want to, you can keep the double face card on top and just mix these up and say, well, check it out. The king has actually been here the entire time along with the 5. Or you can do it the other way around where you have this card on the bottom and then you just immediately flip it over and show that king. But it's up to you. You can do that either way. But I like to have this double face card on top just so when you flip it over, it's face down. And it gives that little bit of that reveal. And then what you're going to do is you're now not going to bring the king back. You're going to bring the 5 that you started with in your pocket from the beginning of the trick. So this is where the 5 is going to come out. Remember, you still have that king there. What you have to do at this point is bring this middle or this bottom king. This is the double face card. Bring that to the middle. And you're going to say, all right, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. I want you to hold out your hand. You're going to take the top 2 cards, do the same exact move. You're going to do that little flip over move. You're going to say, check it out. I've actually been using 3 5s the entire time, and I've had the extra king. And this is where you're going to bring that king out from your pocket. I've had the extra king in my pocket for when I need it. So that is the last little kicker where you have the 3 5s and the 1 king, because it sort of just changes things up a little bit. But that is the entire trick, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. A really good one, but you just got to learn a little bit of the subtleties. Just remember, always have that double face card on the bottom when you're doing the switch. And anyway, this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out, guys.